Councilwoman Guadalupe Urban Ceballos unalived on the coast of Oaxaca. We recently covered the termination of Mayor Carlos Manzo in Michoacan. We spoke about how trying to do good in Mexico gets you terminated. We talked about the absorbent amount of politicians, sheriffs, mayors that are being terminated in Mexico on a regular basis. We spoke on a story recently where in the last 3 to 5 years, there was 2,200 police officers terminated in Mexico. How they averaged one a day. And I said out loud, just imagine in the U.S. if mayors, council people, police officers, senators, aldermen, congressmen, imagine if they were just coming up missing in droves. We've also spoken on this channel how over the last election there was 13 candidates for president that were terminated in Mexico. And the more stories we cover, it seems more and more that the government has lost grip on Mexico and are basically being pushed around by the cartels. We hear an ongoing theme in President Bomb's narrative, and that overarching theme is hugs, no slugs, abrazos, not balazos. That feels like a kindergarten teacher's approach. I understand you don't want to go half-cocked and just start terminating people at the drop of a dime and go to war, but hugs over slugs? That sounds like a kindergarten campaign for peace amongst bickering 5-year-olds. That's not what you have here. I think we're past that already. Now, I'm not saying a full-scale U.S. intervention in Mexico. Why? Because that's just one criminal going to deal with another criminal. Something has to be done because it will not get better on its own and hugs won't help. In this world, if hugs were offered early, if hugs were offered when they're needed, rather than when things get so bad that you can't handle them, maybe they'd work. But right now, we're past that. That campaign from the president of Hugs No Slugs feels like a pizza party in corporate America for a bunch of people that made you trillions of dollars. This sounds like a kindergarten campaign. That sounds childish. It sounds tone deaf. So now here we are with the unaliving of another councilwoman just days after the termination of Carlos Manzo in Michoacan. Councilwoman Guadalupe Urban Ceballos unalived on the coast of Oaxaca. Guadalupe Urban Ceballos, the councilwoman in charge of parks and gardens for the municipality of San Juan Cacahuatepec on the coast of Oaxaca, has been unalived. The municipality confirmed on Thursday Ceballos, a member of the Green Party of Mexico, was ambushed as she left her home and shot. We demand an immediate, thorough, and effective investigation from the competent authorities, bringing those responsible for this deplorable crime to justice, the municipality where the official worked said in a statement. Local media reported that the attack occurred around 11 a.m. as the councilwoman was leaving her home in San Antonio Ocotlán, a small town of 1,100 inhabitants near the border with the state of Guerrero. She was caught in a hail of hammer fire while driving to her workplace in San Juan, less than 5 miles away. Both the Green Party and the San Juan City Council have condemned the crime and offered their condolences to Ceballos' family. This cowardly act represents a grave affront to the institutions and values that govern us as a society. We cannot allow violence to silence the voices of those who work for the common good, the statement reads, describing the councilwoman as a public servant committed to the causes of her community and to the strengthening democratic life in our municipality. The Oaxaca State's Attorney General's office has reported that it has launched an investigation into the crime. So fucking what? So what? Everybody's launching investigations. We hear that word more than anything. Whatever comes of those investigations, whatever happens, what changes from those investigations? The State's Attorney General's office has reported that it has launched an investigation into the crime. Authorities stated that they received a report of a body found on the highway connecting two municipalities on Thursday morning. Specialized and multidisciplinary personnel were dispatched to the scene to carry out forensic procedures, process the site, and conduct the initial investigation to clarify the case. They explained in a statement. The State Women's Secretariat has made a public request for the Attorney General's office that the investigation be carried out under protocols and contextual analysis with a gender perspective. The councilwoman's unaliving occurred the same week as the unaliving of Carlos Manzo, the mayor of Uruapan, Michoacan. a crime Ceballos had shared on her social media accounts just days before her unaliving. She had also shared the termination of Bernardo Bravo, the leader of the lemon growers union. Hugs no slugs don't stop this. This is a problem that Mexico don't got their hand on, that they can't figure out or they won't figure out. Because either they plugged or they got their hands tied. We can guess. Is the mission to just keep turning a blind eye and saying, we'll do an investigation? As long as the U.S. stays out of here, we'll do an investigation. Don't worry about it. U.S., you stay out of here, though. We don't want no problems with you. What's the incentive of becoming a servant of the people in a country where you just be eliminated? That's why it needs people like them, right? And we can only hope that their martyrdom inspires other people to not accept the abuse. But it seems like an out-of-hand situation, and I'm not sure Hugs is going to do it. I think that kindergarten daycare mentality needs to be left to the children. Now, if you admit that you got an army or a police force, or if you got all of these things that are incapable, if that's the message, then say that's what it is. Otherwise, let us know you're not one of them. Because this shit sounds crazy if we slugs no hugs. Meanwhile, there's mayors and councilwomen and all kind of, people getting terminated in official capacities in your state government, state and federal government. And you want to get up every night on TV or every morning on TV and say, hugs, no slugs. Miss me with the bullshit. Now, I'm sure somebody will come and say, but Shai, these people probably had criminal backgrounds. I don't know. One was, unions are unions, right? Crime and unions have been bumping up against each other for many generations. But you got the leader of the Lemons Growers Union, you got a councilwoman, and you got the mayor. Maybe they ain't got no smut on their name. Maybe they just went after, peace, tranquility, no oppression in their towns. They couldn't make a deal with the bad guys, so the bad guys did them in. Bad guys is running shit in Mexico. Just make sure you know it. Make sure you know that it's true. So every time you see Seidelbaum get up there in the morning and say, it's abrazos sin balazos, all soft and shit, just remember, the more hugs she's giving out, the more these people that are there to do good, the Don Alejos, the Santa Miriams of the world, the Carlos Mansos, they're over there getting smoked. That's what's happening. She running around hugging and shit. It's out of hand, Mexico. It's out of hand. We'll keep an eye on the story and see if anything comes of their investigation. Rest in peace, Guadalupe Urban Ceballos.